Hello students, welcome back to my next video of PSC. In this video, we are going to solve the analysis of a PSC beam second type. In my last problem, I have solved a problem with zero eccentricity. I have analyzed a beam with zero eccentricity. Pre-stressed force was applied with zero eccentricity, or we can call it as a concentric pre-stress force was applied in that problem. Now we will solve a problem with a constant eccentricity pre-stressing force. Okay, so let me first read the question which I have already written on the board. A pre-stressed concrete beam of cross section 350 mm and 600 mm. 350 mm by 600 mm and effective span of 5.5 meter is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 20 kilonewton per meter. This is the live load. Okay, it is subjected to a live load of 20 kilonewton per meter. This live load can be a point load also. So in our case it's an UDL, and a pre-stressing force P 900 kilonewton at an uniform eccentricity. So we are applying the pre-stressing force of 900 kilonewton at some eccentricity. The last problem was with concentric pre-stressing force, that was eccentricity was 0 in that case. Now we have the pre-stressing force applied at an eccentricity of 100 mm. So this is a constant eccentricity. So in the next problem we will see a problem with varying eccentricity also, right? So this is a second type of problem where we are dealing a problem with constant eccentricity, okay, of 100 mm. 100 mm below the centroidal axis. Determine and sketch the stresses at center of the span for initial and final condition. Okay, so by this time you must be very well aware what is initial condition and what is final condition. Fine. So those who have missed my previous video should watch to understand this problem, the earlier video. Okay, so first I will show you a sketch how the beam is. Okay, so this is our simply supported beam, PSC beam, right? Its section is, if you draw the section, its section is 350 mm by 600 mm. Okay, so this is 350 mm and the other side is 600 mm. The span is 5.5 meters. Okay, now here it has got a superimposed live load in the form of UDL whose intensity is 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay, now if I draw the CG of this figure, so this is the CG exactly at the center of the beam. It's a rectangular beam, so this will pass exactly at the CG. Now our pre-stressing force is applied at an eccentricity of 100 mm below the centroidal axis. So our pre-stressing force is somewhere here. So this is our P, which is equal to 900 kilonewton. Fine. So this is the P. So if I draw the chord, so this is your straight, it should be a straight line. Fine. So this is the pre-stressing force at a constant eccentricity of 100 mm. So this is the given data. So for this we have to find out the pre-stressing force at bottom face and at top face for the initial load condition and for the final conditions, and then we have to sketch the stress distribution like we did for our last problem. Okay, so to begin with, let us solve using the same steps which I have learned in our other video, in the last video for analyzing a PSC beam. So first step will be as usual a given. So what all data is given to you, you must write down. What is insufficient data, that must be found in the first step. So given, if I say I have B is equal to 350 mm, D is equal to 600 mm, L effective or simply L is equal to 5.5 meters. Okay, then UDL, it is a live load. Okay, so you can write it like this: W suffix L is equal to 20 kilonewton per meter. P, pre-stressing force, is represented by capital P. So that is equal to 900 kilonewton. Okay, eccentricity is in mm, 100 mm. So we also need dead load. Dead load is self weight of the beam. Okay, W suffix D. How will you get that? If you multiply the cross section with the density of plain concrete, because in pre-stressed concrete we are going to use PSC, not RCC, plain concrete, PCC, not RCC. So the density of PCC is 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. So for the understanding, I am writing here density of PCC is equal to 24 kilonewton per cubic meter. So with this data we can calculate the self weight, or it is also represented as dead load. Okay, so we represent that with WD. So WD is equal to cross section, that is 0.35 into 0.6 into 24. So we get a WD of W dead load of 5.04 kilonewton per meter. 5.04 kilonewton per meter. So with this, our first step is completed. Simply, what all are available, what is to be needed in the next step, we have solved it. Okay, so the second step, same, like, because if same steps are used, it will be easy for you to remember. So we'll go for the second step as finding the bending moments. Bending moment due to dead load, and bending moment due to live load, and bending moment due to eccentricity. That also you can remember. Fine. So second step is bending moments. Okay, bending moments. So first bending moment is bending moment due to dead load. So it's a UDL. So obviously it will be WD L square by 8. Very simple. Dead load bending moment, or MD, simply if you want to write it MD, dead load bending moment. Dead load we have calculated 5.04 into 5.5 square L effective, right, divided by 8. So we get the value of the dead load bending moment as 19.05 kilonewton meter. So this is what we will be using in the stresses determination. Similarly, we have to calculate bending moment due to live load. Bending moment due to live load. Okay, so WML. ML is equal to, that is also an UDL. Sometimes the live load will be given as point load. Then corresponding formula you should use. If it is UDL, L square by 8. If it is point load, WL by 2. Fine. So that is what, here it's UDL. So same formula, live load into span square by 8. So you get the bending moment due to live load as live load is 20 kilonewton per meter into 5.5 square by 8. Okay, so its value comes out to be 75.625. So its moment unit is kilonewton meter. So very simple, right? So in this you can also add bending moment due to eccentricity. You see your pre-stressing force is here. Okay, it has got this eccentricity. So P into E will give you the bending moment due to the eccentricity. That you can do it here, or in the final formula also you can add it up. So your step 2 is completed. Coming to the last step, because you see pre-stress problems are very small. The question will be big, but solution will be small. You can solve within no time. Fine. So now let us see the third step. Third step is very similar, last one, that is determination of stresses. Determination of stresses. Okay, here we have determination of stress, we have initial conditions, and we have final conditions. Okay, so first we will do initial condition. Initial conditions means before applying the live load, that is for only dead load and for pre-stressing force. Okay, so initial conditions. Initial conditions. Fine. So in this again we have to find stress at top face and stress at bottom face. So first, stress at top face. Stress at top face. So we represent it as F top. So similar to our last class where we have a formula P by A. This is the stress due to pre-stressing force plus bending moment due to dead load by Z. This is the stress due to dead load. Okay. Then minus stress due to eccentricity. So we need Z. What is Z? Section modulus. So let us calculate. Actually in first step only we should have calculated. Once again we have forgotten this. So section modulus Z is equal to, because your section is rectangle, section modulus is Z is BD square by 6, 1/6 of BD square. So let us calculate that. 1 by 6 into B is 350 into 600 square. 600 square. So the value comes out to be 21 into 10 to the power of 6. So this unit is cubic mm. So once you get this, you can just substitute the value you get for the initial condition, stress at top and stress at bottom. So stress at top. Fine. So I am writing down F top, that is stress at top, is equal to P by A. You can see our pre-stressing force is 900 kilonewton. So we have to convert that into mm, because generally stresses are represented in the unit Newton per mm square. So 900 into 10 to the power of 3 by B area. So area is this one. Okay. Then dead load bending moment 19.05. It is kilonewton meter. So we will convert it into Newton mm divided by Z. 21 into 10 to the power of 6 minus no ml, because it is initial condition. So no ml. Next is P into E. Again P is 900 into 10 to the power of 3. Eccentricity is 100. This eccentricity is inducing a moment. Okay. So P into E by Z. 21 into 10 to the power of 6. Simply take your calculators, find out the values. It is coming as 4.28 plus 0.907 minus 4.27. So the finally in the initial condition the stress at top is 0.917 Newton per mm square. So this is a positive value, that means tension. Positive means tension. Okay. Same way stress at bottom. Directly you can place the formula values, because already values are there, only the sign changes. So stress at bottom face in the initial condition, FB or FBOOT. F bottom is equal to P by A minus MD by Z plus PE by Z. Okay, substitute 4.28 minus 0.907 plus 4.27. So F bottom has come to be, F bottom is 7.643 Newton per mm square. You can see both are positive. Both are positive. So you can simply sketch. Both are positive. So be careful in the drawing. Okay. So both are positive means it will be a trapezium. If one is positive and one is negative, it will be a two opposite similar triangles. Okay. So This is how you can draw the diagram. Fine. So for the initial condition, I will not show. Okay. For final, I will show. So this is the final top stress at the top phase and stress at the bottom phase. The condition is initial, means before the application of live load. Okay. So second is the same step. Second is final conditions. Okay. So B, final condition. Those who are watching today's video, please understand that final condition means we are applying it after we are finding the stresses after the live load. Okay. So this is with live load. After the application of live load, what are the stresses coming on it? Fine. So I'll just cut short. F top is equal to P by A plus dead load moment by Z minus live load bending moment by Z plus and this is minus P into eccentricity by Z. So same values, live load is only the new one. Okay. So this is 900, or otherwise directly I can take 4.28 because already the values are with me, plus 0.907, and this live load was, how much was the live load? Live load was 75.625. Okay. 75.625 into 10 to the power of 6 by 21 into 10 to the power of 6 minus same PE by Z. We already have calculated. We are just taking down the values 4.27, or simply you can just again write it 900 into 10 to the power of 3 by 350 into 600, same steps. Okay. So this is coming out to be once again 4.28 plus 0.907 plus live load stress is 3.601 minus 4.27. So we got a stress after the application of load. The stress at the top phase is 4.518 Newton per mm square. You can see the difference. Okay. It's positive again. Okay. So last, what is left over? Stress at bottom. With that, we can complete the problem by sketching the diagram. So same, changing the stress at bottom. At bottom phase, F bottom. So only signs changes. P by A minus dead load bending moment by Z minus live load bending moment by Z plus bending moment due to eccentricity by Z. So already you have the values, simply substitute with a change sign. 4.28 minus 0.907, 4.28 minus MD by Z. Already we have calculated, no need to repeat. 0.907 minus live load. Live load bending moment is 3.601 plus bending moment due to eccentricity is 4.27 Newton per mm square. So on solving this, you get the final stress at the bottom phase in the final condition. Okay, at the bottom phase in the final condition, it is 4.518. It is approximately equal to 4.52 Newton per mm square. So all are positive. So now you can simply draw the diagram, sketch the diagram. You will get the final sketches. The problem numerical is completed, only sketch is left over. So let us see the sketch. Let us sketch the pressure stress distribution diagram. So we can sketch two figures separately for initial conditions 1 and for final condition 1. But it will be sufficient if you do it for final condition. Okay. So let us start doing as I have shown you in the last class. Okay. So stress distribution diagram for final stresses, I mean to say for final conditions I am showing to you. Okay. So same pattern how we have done in the last class. First is P by A. It's a constant. It's not changing. So it's P by A. It's a rectangular block. So P by A value is 4.28. Okay, 4.28 Newton per mm square. Here also 4.28 Newton per mm square. Okay, then comes your M, dead load bending moment. Dead load bending moment, here it is plus and here it is minus. So what you have to do is, you have to take plus on the right hand side and minus on the left hand side. So plus 0.907, this side minus 0.907. Just join them. So this is minus, this is plus. Okay, then live load, plus minus. So same way, plus on the right hand side, minus, values are same, plus 3.601 minus 3.601. Just join them. This is due to dead load, this is due to live load, and this is P by A, or simply you can write down below the figure. It's up to you. Then eccentricity. Eccentricity also, the above one is minus here. See, top minus. So what you do is, minus you take this side, then plus the other side. 4.27, 4.27. So your figure will come like this. So this will be minus, this will be plus. Okay, so when you add it up, you have top value positive, bottom value positive. They are almost same. It is like a rectangle. Okay, it's almost same. Fine. I'm just checking out. 4.042 it is. I'm sorry. This is 4.042. Okay, so just a small variation is there. So top it is more, 4.518 or 4.52. Okay, so bottom 4.02. Both are positive, so both are on the right hand side. Okay, I think in the last video, in the final stress diagram, I made this mistake. Okay, please make a corrections. Final stresses are positive both at top and bottom. Suppose it is positive at top and negative at the bottom, you get a triangle like this. Okay, so I think that mistake I am 4.518 here, and here it is 4.04. So that is your final stress. So this is how you have to distribute the stress distribution diagram. So all of you just watch my upcoming videos, because those problems are in continuation of this. Now we have done a problem with constant eccentricity. Now the next problem will be with the varying eccentricity, uniformly varying eccentricity. Do watch my videos, share it, like it. Bye everyone.